Hi guys, it's Glenn here from FG Landscaping. I thought I'd do another quick video today. The plan is to we're going forward anyway for the next few days and weeks. I'm going to see if I can try and keep to the schedule of releasing one video per day. So let's see how we get on. So today guys, I just want to quickly touch on the subject of new versus old ride-on horse. We've had a lot of questions in the past regarding this, and even for new people setting up their own business, what would they choose and what would be best. The truth is guys, this really depends on your personal situation, financial and mechanical knowledge and everything else. If you do have the money and you're making the money, I would always recommend, and I think most people would recommend, is that you buy a new machine. That way you do of course have your warranty, you have your comeback, and of course anything goes wrong you can call the shop and they'll collect, or you can drop it back and they'll fix the machine for you. And some warranties on some machines can be extended up to 4 years. So that is if you can buy new, always sort of buy new. Now if you do have the mechanical know-how and you're willing to learn, or you're willing to get stuck in, you can save yourself a whole lot of money buying a used machine. That is of course the truth. If you learn the basics of engine maintenance, doing some of your own repairs and servicing in-house, your oil change, your belt changes, your leveling, your balancing of your decks, there's a few things that you can learn that again will save you a few hundred per turn each time you go back to your dealer and you get them to do maintenance or servicing on your machine. So it really depends guys. So just to give you some story here in context, we have purchased used machines in the past for the business. In fact, in the very early stages we had a residential TC138 of Husqvarna. This is a residential machine, and I think we paid about €1,700 for it. At the time it had about 135 hours on the clock, so not much. I think the machine was 5 years old at the time, so it was being used very little. But from the day we got it, and from the next day when we went out and started using it on gardens, it would continuously break down. It was really a bane in our life. The fuel solenoid kept getting damaged, and I think that was the biggest issue with that machine. We also had carburetor problems with it. Now we could be just being very unlucky, but unfortunately it is just something you have to bear in mind. And I do know a good bit about mechanics and basic repairs, and I'm able to fix a lot of stuff myself. But if that was somebody that didn't have that know-how or knowledge, then they would have said, well, I've after spending all this money and I have a machine with no warranty, no comeback, and ultimately I'm going to have to drop it back to a dealer that's going to charge me several hundred to try and fix it. But that is the truth when you are dealing with a used or a new machine. So it's a tough one to call guys. If you do have the knowledge, if you do have the know-how and you're willing to learn, then you could try used. And there's a few things you need to look out for, of course, when you buy a used machine. Of course, the engine hours. So depending on how old it is, your average residential ride-on mower should probably only be doing somewhere between 20-30 hours per season. Maybe a bit less depending on their size of their plot. So you can do the maths then, depending on how old it is and what the hour sort of clock should show. If it's a year old and it has 150 hours on it, then I'd stay well away. Again, you can do some checks on the engine. You can check when it was serviced, if there's any receipts or proof that it was serviced recently, when the blades were done, when the oil was changed. All these things you can ask obviously the seller, but you do obviously take the risk that when you do leave with that machine, that if everything isn't as good as it appears to be, then you could be left with a machine with that you could end up spending a lot of money on to fix. But if you can, try and stick with a new machine guys, just for peace of mind, especially if, as I said, you don't come from the background of having that knowledge and fixing them or the know-how. because it really is the worst thing. You know, we've been out in fields and we've been in the middle of a job halfway through it, and all of a sudden the machine breaks, and it's a nightmare. You know, you're trying to finish your work on then with push mowers, and it's a bloody nightmare. We had this issue before on the garden where we were using our old residential Honda 2417, and it ended up breaking down halfway. This was what it was. This was over a 1 acre plot, and we ended up finishing half the garden with 2 push mowers, which took 5-6 hours. So so to sum it up, if you have the know-how, if you have the knowledge, and you're willing to learn, and you look out initially for the right things when you're buying that used machine, then you could try used. You could certainly give it a shot. If you are going to buy used, try and buy it at least from a shop, and that way you know they could offer you some warranty. It could be 3 or 4 month warranty. That way you have some peace of mind. That's certainly much better than having no warranty or no peace of mind buying it privately. But if you can, guys, try and at least get a new machine. As I said, you don't need to be buying the best spec, but something new you will always have to come back and guarantee, and that peace of mind. But anyway, guys, just a quick one for today. I'll speak to you again soon, and please comment, share, and like. And again, if there's anything specific you want to ask me about my business and about what we do and what we cut, please do ask. I'm willing to share. I'll be up in front and honest with everybody. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you all on the other side.